Hi, welcome to Tinfoil Handkerchief Alignment, and today we're going to revisit and expand on the first chakra, the root, which corresponds to our relationship with material things as it pertains to matters of money, career, home, or structure. Home life is kind of a general term, but my personal interpretation of it is more about relationships to ourselves and others and the living environments we create, but not necessarily like an actual home, more about how we go about living our lives in the physical world. The root chakra acts as our foundational energy center. It's the chakra through which our energetic healing begins and how we physically ground the spiritual or metaphysical aspects of self. It's where we establish a sense of stability and security between our emotional, spiritual, material, and physical aspects. A properly functioning root chakra brings an overall sense of internal balance, calmness, confidence, and overall contentment. That can be incredibly helpful and grounding during times of hardship or challenge. Movement and sensory reception are functions associated with the root chakra. Though that predominantly pertains to physical sensations, it also applies to emotional feeling in some regards as well, though maybe less so than the heart chakra, which would be more of the opposite and pertain more to emotion rather than the physical. Our sense of smell is also associated with the root chakra, which I think makes sense with the less physical aspects of sensory perception. You can usually smell things before you can see or feel them. And when it comes to grounding, you usually breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, like savoring the sense of the earth around you, which helps ground less physical aspects of the earth to our physical bodies. We draw energy up through our bodies through the root chakra, as it's where we physically connect to the earth. So it makes sense that this is where the spiritual and energetic healing begins. It's located at the base of the spine, connecting to and influencing functionality in other areas and parts of the body as well, and touches on different chakras on the way up, so it's kind of another example of how it all connects. So it makes sense that the root chakra is associated with the element of earth and the corresponding astrological earth signs of Capricorn and Taurus. Now, Virgo is also an earth sign, and though it corresponds to some aspects associated with the root chakra, it's predominantly more associated with the throat chakra. Both Capricorn and Taurus are known to be dependable, patient, and resilient. They're often reliable, appreciate consistency, and are quite practical in how they approach various situations and aspects of life. They're both ambitious and are naturally inclined to focus on long-term goals that build stability and success over time. These traits, when balanced, can also be indicative of a healthy functioning root chakra. Earth signs themselves are representative of connection to material things, sort of like things that exist on Earth. So while being inclined to building stability and security, both Capricorn and Taurus can also be predisposed to comfort seeking in physical and material aspects. They can be predisposed to prioritizing material comfort and pleasures over stability and security in the more emotional or spiritual senses. The functional root chakra aspect of vigor, which is our enthusiasm or the physical or mental energy we exert into different things within life, are often represented within these two astrological signs. Yet they can show up differently but similarly between the two. Though Taurus are often determined, Capricorn is usually more ambitious. And the aspect of vigor, imbalanced, can look like stubbornness and perfectionism for both. They can become hyperfixated in pursuit of their goals, which aren't necessarily negatively attuned traits, but they can become so if the stubbornness and perfectionism means they become overcompetitive or unwilling to compromise with or listen to others. Or if they become so frustrated or relentless in their pursuit that they go to extreme lengths to achieve their goal. Like if they feel the need to take from others in order to maintain luxury for themselves, rather than be appreciative of what they already have, or instead of putting in effort to become more stable or heal within themselves. These are all also indicators of imbalanced root chakra aspects, a lot of which I think stems from a lack of confidence and an inclination to go into survival mode over minor setbacks. Also indicators of imbalance within the root chakra. I say it like that because with signs like Capricorn and Taurus, but as I've said before, not specific to these signs, I'm just talking about traits or aspects most commonly associated with them as they pertain to the root chakra. Because they're more predisposed to seeking comfort, they may perceive minor losses or setbacks as a threat to their stability, rather than looking at stability as maintaining emotional balance through challenging situations. But I mean, everybody likes to be comfortable. It's just, do you go out of your way to make sure that you're more comfortable than someone else? Capricorn and Taurus can be inclined to become so fearful of material loss or setbacks that they can come across as greedy and materialistic. In their frustration, they may misdirect their focus to blaming others instead of taking accountability for themselves or being appreciative of what they have. They can become so fixated on just not wanting to have less because they can perceive having less as being or becoming unstable or insecure. No one wants to lose anything, and I'm not saying anyone is deserving of loss. It's more about how you react through a loss. And especially when it comes to material things, how you go about regaining stability after you've gone through a loss. Is your focus on what others haven't lost, or is it how you can heal aspects within yourself to make your own progress in a healthy, positive way in order to gain things back? I think that also ties into feelings of insecurity in both material and emotional senses. When dealing with feelings of material insecurity and the focus is on what others have, that would be indicative of insecurity in the emotional aspect as well, which is why it's important to heal those aspects and insecurities within self and focus less on competing with others or how they perceive you if you've lost something kind of thing. More material focused signs like Capricorn and Taurus are also likely to think of material losses as a blow to their self-esteem or ego. And they may feel like embarrassed by it, which are also indicators of emotional insecurity within self, as then it would be more about how they interpret others are perceiving them. And those are indicators of imbalances within the root chakra, but may also be indicators of imbalances within other chakras as well, such as the solar plexus, which is more about confidence and self-esteem. Again, this isn't specific to these signs. I'm just talking about aspects commonly associated with these signs as an example of how imbalances within the root chakra can present themselves. In addition to the element of Earth, the actual planet Earth is associated with the root chakra as well, as it aligns our physical bodies with the element and represents our connection to physical and material things. Stability and connection to planet Earth can also tie back to how physical sensation and movement pertain to the root chakra. Your physical body is able to maintain better balance and feel more sturdy and stable the more points of connection you physically have to the Earth. Saturn and Mars are the other planetary bodies associated with the root chakra. Saturn is more representative of material and physical structure and how that perseveres over time. Mars is more representative of action, ambition, and physical well-being. More like how we'd go about building material comfort, maintain physical health, and strive to grow within physical structures. The root chakra is also represented by the color red, which symbolizes health, vitality, physicality, focus, competitiveness, and leadership. Much like the aspects that are prevalent in the root chakra's corresponding astrological signs of Capricorn and Taurus, and the associated planetary bodies of Earth, Saturn, and Mars. Though vitality can also be associated with the sun in terms of it's vital to how things grow on an earthly level. But it's also important to remember that when it comes to energy work, the intention is also important. Attuning to wishing for things like healing, strength, and a healthy level of ambition, which would also be like focusing on being positive and productive. Energetic imbalance may also present as physical afflictions relating to the spine, hips, pelvis, knees, calves, and feet, including ankles, heels, and toes. It may also impact reproductive organs, though that's more associated with men as it pertains to the root chakra, since function within the reproductive organs are normally associated with the sacral chakra. Though it could also be an indicator that there is an imbalance or a disruption in flow within both chakras. Something like issues with the spine can be compounded by feelings of not having emotional support or feeling unloved, being repressed internally, which could also correspond to other emotional indicators of root chakra imbalance, including feelings of existential dread or feeling like you have to live in survival mode, which creates a burnout contributing to a lack of motivation or difficulty sleeping. There is some overlap between chakras and bodily functions, which is why it's important to work towards balancing the whole energetic body from the root up to the crown. Though some chakras may require more calibration than others, I've found it's better to work in layers rather than try to fix one area completely before working on any of the rest. The reason being the more healed parts will help heal and restore flow to some of the parts that are less so to start. How chakra imbalances impact you will also depend on your personal life experience and the kinds of traumas that could cause blockages or imbalances to begin with. Rebalancing energy within your physical body also requires a level of honest introspection. An overactive root chakra, which could be the result of something like pride in the excess, can result in unnecessary competitiveness or being so competitive, like to the point that it's unhealthy, which could also manifest itself as something like depression. Focusing on positive root chakra aspects can help reestablish a healthy flow of energy within that center of your body. Most of the negative emotions that could contribute to maybe some of the more physical indicators of imbalance can actually be counteracted with optimism, healthy ambition, gratitude, and self-acceptance. What all of that looks like varies depending on individual life experience. A lot of that is taking a look at the things that cause those emotions in us and understanding what it is about that particular instance, situation, or circumstance that makes you feel the way you do about that instance. But it's also important not to focus on whether or not you can change an old instance. That's how the energy gets stuck. It's more about learning how to focus your energy into positively healing aspects within self to make the necessary changes within self to start healing, which will allow you to personally grow. As you gain a better understanding of yourself, you develop better discernment, which brings your internal energy to a healthier, more positively attuned energetic baseline, which helps maintain better emotional stability even through times of challenges, hardships, or loss. Eventually, that can also help restore material stability as well. Sometimes it just requires consistency and patience, both of which are strengths and positive aspects often shown in the root chakra's corresponding astrological signs of Capricorn and Taurus. For tools to help recalibrate imbalanced root chakra aspects, you can use the mantra of LUM or C notes. For scents, I normally use frankincense, but you can also use rosewood. For crystals, I normally use red jasper or hematite, but you could also use stones like smoky quartz, garnet, ruby, and black obsidian. Red jasper can help reestablish or increase stability when it comes to connecting with the earth. It's also thought to increase physical and emotional stamina, resilience, and endurance through challenging times or situations, but is also thought to pertain to the physical aspect as well. Hematite helps with physically grounding and stabilizing mental, emotional, and spiritual energy and draws it down to and through the root chakra, anchoring the more spiritual aspects to the physical earth. It's thought to provide protection against negativity and balance the mind by clearing confusion and improving concentration and memory, which helps focus your energy in a healthy, positively attuned way and helps with better mental clarity, including better perception of self and others. It can also boost confidence and improve reliability, which helps to better remain consistently energetically balanced and more stable in that way. Smoky quartz helps ground too, as well as absorbs negative energy, and is thought to help alleviate worry, tension, and stress. Black obsidian functions similarly to smoky quartz and is thought to help heal aspects and repair holes within self where there are emotional wounds. It also helps clear out negativity and is thought to help with spiritual protection. Garnet is thought to improve vitality by providing an energetic boost, also helping with finding your personal passions so you're better able to direct ambitious energy into something more positive and productive to your personal growth and just something that you love. And maybe it'll even help contribute to establishing more of a material stability. Ruby is also thought to help protect against negative energies and manipulation, as well as help with finding mental clarity. It's also thought to help boost energy, especially during times when feeling exhausted. It also helps boost courage, find confidence, improve self-esteem, and figure out what your personal passions are. Ruby's also thought to help with detoxification within the physical body, boost immune system function, and improve circulation and blood flow, which may also help alleviate symptoms and improve functionality where there are physical signs showing of imbalances within the root chakra. As I always mention, with color, sound, crystals, and scents, strength and vibrancy can influence impact. Attuning to yourself will allow you to be able to better determine how much or how little of each tool you need to rebalance within. Eventually, you'll also determine which you find most helpful, especially if there are certain traits or aspects that you're naturally more predisposed to that you want to balance out. So I hope you've enjoyed this expanded overview of the root chakra and how balancing it helps us begin healing aspects within self and improves our connection to the earth and physical world, as well as lay the energetic foundation upon which we build and work towards physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual stability. If you're interested in booking any energy healing services or tarot and oracle readings, check out my Etsy shop, or check out my other YouTube channel, Tinfoil Handkerchief Tarot, for general collective readings. Until next time, keep the peace.